Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're talking about what to expect from the Oklahoma City Thunder. And before we start today's video, I want to talk about, I want to hear your three things in the comment sections, your opinions down below. Who's going to be an X factor for this team? I think, there's a few guys who could really break off the page this year, or excluding Josh Giddey and Shai, because we know Josh Giddey's going to take a jump. Well, Darius Bazley, Trey Mann, Poku, Aaron Wiggins, who had a little bit of something, who's going to really make some noise for this team that you might have not expected? So I want to hear that. Second question, what will the team's record be? And the third, what is your expectation as a Thunder fan for the season? Now, let's get right into today's video. And besides that, let me read down the roster. They have two guys on two ways. Eugene Omorui from Oregon and Lindy Waters are their two-way guys. And tell me if I say anybody's names incorrectly, but Darius Bazley, Ousmane Dieng, Lou Dort, Derek Favors, Josh Giddey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Mo Harkless, who they recently traded for, Chet Holmgren, Ty Jerome, Teo Maledon, Trey Mann, Mike Muscala, Poku, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Aaron Wiggins, Jalen Williams from Santa Clara, Jalen Williams from Arkansas, and Kenrick Williams. Jalen Williams from Santa Clara, correct me if I'm right or wrong, is J-Dub, and Jay Wills from Arkansas. Now, this team's biggest question is, how many games will Shai Gilgeous-Alexander play? The Thunder obviously in the third year of the rebuild, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is clearly their best player, arguably a top 30 player in the NBA. And in his first 2 years with the team, Gilgeous-Alexander has only played 91 games, 35 in 2020 to 2021, and 56 games in 2020 to 2022. With the news that Gilgeous-Alexander has a grade 2 left MCL sprain and will miss the start of training camp, he is behind the 8 ball again regarding his health. It's likely he won't miss more than a handful of games to start the season with his injury. But how many will he miss? The Thunder are still in rebuild mode. The most valuable picks they have are their own, obviously, because they're one of the worst teams in the NBA. But the thing is will they continue to sit Shai at the end of the season when, the games mean absolutely nothing because they're tanking? Or will they push, or will he push them to make him play in games that don't matter? That's one of the big questions. Now, besides that, I think it's an interesting, spot where they put themselves, because I like this team, and with the injury, I actually think could be something that works in their favor, because now first off, I think the starting lineup is going to be Josh Giddey, Shai. Josh Giddey, Shai. Josh Giddey, Shai, Lou Dort, Darius Bazley, and probably Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Unless you think Derek Favors is going to start. And for me, obviously, we know they tanked. And I think it's definitely going to be like the point guard rotation. Shai's the starter. Trey Mann's the set backup. I think Trey Mann's going to be the sixth man. Teo Maledon's the third point guard, and the fourth point guard's Ty Jerome. And then at the wing positions, you could argue that Josh Giddey, I think they run two wings, a power forward and a center and a guard, because Josh Giddey, Lou Dort are their two wings, and then Kenrick Williams is the third guy. I think J-Dub, Jalen Williams from Santa Clara is in front of Poku, and then behind Poku is Ousmane Dieng, and then behind Ousmane Dieng it's Aaron Wiggins, and then Eugene Omorui. And look, I think right here is that I love that they drafted Jalen Williams and Ousmane Dieng in, the lottery. Dieng feels like a little bit more of a project, and he'll spend some time in the G League, while Jalen Williams, as he played a few more years in college, is pro ready, and he could fit next to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey and Jalen Williams and form a really good perimeter attack. And he's one of my favorite players in this past year's draft, and I knew he was going to be a lottery pick. Now, sorry for the cough. Lou Dort was, some people might say is an overpay, but once the salary cap jumps, he'll have a normal contract. And his scoring numbers last year were arguably a product of somebody had to put the shots up, but I think he'll justify the contract. And Kenrick Williams' extension has a chance to be incredibly undervalued in a year or two. Now, the power forward position, I think, is Darius Bazley the starter, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, and Jalen Williams backing him up. And I think the Thunder got better here. It's a little bit more confusing because they selected Jay Will from Arkansas. He's a first-round talent with the capability of being a pretty solid power forward or center, but it's confusing now because obviously they have two guys with the same names, but they have no clear picture at the power forward spot. While at the center position, with Chet Holmgren injured, it's Derek Favors, Mike Muscala, and I think a little bit of Jeremiah Robinson Earl and Kenrick Williams. And the thing is obviously we won't see Chet Holmgren until next year, and I think it's going to be fun to see how that works out because now he's going to have, it's going to be interesting. And I think the team did get better. Hopefully they grab their franchise guy. But Shai's like their franchise guy. But I love it. I think both Williams rookies will be good. I think Dang has upside. I think, yes, Chet being hurt sucks. I think we're going to see more of Darius Paisley trying to be a difference maker as a two-way guy. We need to see the progression of Poku from physical aspect as well as a standpoint, a skill standpoint. And we need to understand, is this team trying to make more of a plan or really just trying to get Victor Wembanyama? What are they really? And what's with, I think Trey Mann's the guy, and they should move on from Ty Jerome and Teo Maledon, even though I love Teo Maledon and I thought he was going to be the disciple of our man Tony Parker. Now, do they play small with Jeremiah Robinson Earl? Do they keep Derek Favors and play him? These are all things that I don't know. But look, now most rookies, especially rookies who are big men, typically don't impact wins and losses. And the answer might be just, this is actually long-term better for Chet Holmgren because he's going to work on his body. But, who's going to be replaced Chet Holmgren in the starting lineup? Like I said, Derek Favors, Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Can you really play Mike Muscala more than 20 minutes a night? Those are something that's going to be interesting. And Lou Dort will shoot it, but that's because teams will take it. He was taking 7.7 threes a game. Not shooting them at the best percentage, but I think, and I know someone's going to try to dog me for this Lou Dort stat and be like, well, Lou Dort actually had a good time, shot the ball well. And I know Lou Dort's a fantastic player. Okay, I love me some Lou Dort. Lou Dort's fantastic. But let's not sit here and say 33% on 7.7 threes. I mean, it's better than, Ben Simmons. But look, there's a good opportunity that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, and I think the team's closing lineup might be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, Kenrick Williams, and Mike Muscala. And hopefully we can get a full 70 games. I mean, look. They had a guy named Georgios Kaliakis in the final 2 weeks of the season basically play, 40 minutes so they can get to a 40 minutes a night to get to a 24-58 record. This team is trying to get themselves Victor Wembanyama, Cam Whitmore, one of the Thomas twins, or Scoot Henderson. As many of those guys they can in this upcoming draft. It's wild. That's it for me today. Like and subscribe.